Welcome back to the Whiskey Couch with me, your host Gustav Miller, and of course today's whiskey, which is the fifth in a series of Japanese whiskies that I'm reviewing. Today, the Hibiki Japanese Harmony Masters Select, our whiskey for today. All of the Hibiki expressions from Beam Suntory are Japanese blends. The first one ever to be released was the 17-year-old, released in 1989, which is almost 20 years ago. And then after that one followed the 12-year-old. So they started with a 17-year-old and then 12, 21 and 30, and of course the no-age expressions such as this one. The Hibiki range of blends from Suntory is the most award-winning Japanese blend brand out there. So they have made quite a statement up to now for the last 30 years. This particular one is a blend of 10 different single malt and single grain whiskies from the Suntory group of distilleries, which include the Hakushu or Hakushu, if you prefer the Japanese expression, the Hakushu distillery, and the Yamazaki and the Chita distillery. Single malt, and from the Chita distillery, of course, the single grain whiskies. And it was matured in American wood, ex-sherry wood, and Mizunara oak casks. Mizunara is the Japanese oak cask. So 3 different casks of whiskey brought together and bottled at 43% ABV alcohol. Beautiful amber color, and on the nose, immediately the grain component of the whiskey you pick up immediately. So there's a strong grain component, but there's much more than that going on here. The malt whiskey is a bit in the background for me. There's a floral component, there's a bit of butterscotch and vanilla from probably the American wood and the Mizunara oak. Citrus as well, honey, cinnamon and marshmallow. I'm not picking up the ex-sherry cask influence straight away. Let's see what the packaging says in terms of what we can expect. Let's see what's going on here. Amber color on the nose, plum in syrup, as well as roses and a sweet woodiness. On the palate, orange marmalade, dark chocolate, slight bitterness, and finish, a lingering sweetness and acidity, spices and wood. And then there's some other very interesting information here. The name Hibiki literally means resonance in Japanese and reflects the Suntory corporate philosophy to live in harmony with people and nature. Hibiki celebrates Japanese nature and the subtleties found in the 24 seasons of the traditional calendar, reflected in the 24 facets of the bottle. So the 24 facets in this beautiful bottle is not just by chance. All of these 24 facets, if you count them right around 24, they actually reflect the 24 seasons in the original calendar. Trying to pick up that plum and syrup. The syrup part I get, but the rest I don't get at the moment. Let's check out the flavors on the palate. Fruity, sweet. The orange marmalade I can pick up it comes from the citrus that I picked up on the nose, carries through to the palate, but there's a strong sweet grain component in here as well. I get some vanilla flavors and coconut, and now the plum is starting to shine through, citrus and honey, and a dark chocolate, and the bitterness is staying behind. The marmalade bitterness is staying behind. The finish is lingering. There's a sweetness on the mid palate, and then the slight bitterness, a little bit dry, a little bit oaky spices and cinnamon, and the citrus and the marmalade, and nothing else that starts to come through. Let's see what a bit of water will do with this. I like the complexity of this whiskey. It often happens if you have a blend made up from a few very good single malt and single grains. I'm not really picking up the youthfulness. I mean, it's a no-age statement whiskey, and it should tell you that, you know, I'm still young, but it doesn't happen with this one. So I like it so far. With a little bit of water, there's more malty aromas shining through. Much more malty aromas. I'm getting the idea of pastries, and the chocolate is coming through a bit stronger. The citrus, the orange marmalade is now a little bit softer, and the marshmallows is still coming through with a little bit of water. I like this Hibiki Japanese harmony. It's quite costly. That's the only negative that counts against it. In South Africa, 1,400 South African rands. It translates to about probably £80 in the UK and about $100 in the US. I don't know what the real price is if I just work back from South African rands. So quite pricey for a no-age statement. But this is really one of my preferred Japanese blends out there. If you want to do food pairing with this Japanese blend, then I would recommend the marshmallow sticks with me. So the marshmallow with a bit of coconut on top of it, that will work well. Sushi works well with this whiskey. But for today, I've got a chocolate, and I'm going to try this chocolate. It's got an orange citrus center. I'm going to try this to connect with the orange marmalade. I've got a suspicion that the sweetness of the chocolate will counter the bitterness of the marmalade, and the citrusy orange notes will connect with the citrus orange component in the whiskey's flavor profile. Chocolate and oranges. Then you don't swallow everything. And another sip. The bitterness and the spiciness is completely gone, and the orange just explodes from the whiskey, connecting with that pairing snack. This is a 4.5 out of 5 pairing. My opinion. I like this very much. Thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I will see you again tomorrow, because there's much more whiskey tasting, whiskey reviews, and whiskey pairing to come. Cheers.